What is up everyone, Atomic Toast 15 here. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing on the Xbox One Elite model. Now right off the bat I apologize. Due to the height of the box, it's not fully going to be in frame the whole video. Yeah, I apologize, that's just the way it is though. Seems to be a recurring problem in my videos as of late actually. I've been unboxing things that are too tall for the camera, but anyway, we're going to move right into this. This is the Elite model of the Xbox One. It runs $500 compared to the original model, which is $350. Actually, it might be more fair to compare it to the 1TB model, since this only comes in a 1TB variant, as you can see here. So standard Xbox One will run you, standard Xbox One and 1TB, again I should specify, will run you $400. The Elite model will run you $500, so not too terribly much of a price hike there for what you're getting. So what do you get with the Elite variant? Well, as you can see here, we have a 1TB hybrid drive. That's a solid-state hybrid drive, which is different from a solid-state drive, but it's advertised to give you approximately 20% faster load speeds or navigation speeds with the UI. I'm not entirely sure. It was a little vague on that. They didn't release any exact specific times or comparisons or anything like that, but you can expect to have faster load times with this version of the console. And right here we have the Elite controller, which, well, it kind of looks like a standard Xbox One controller from the picture. There's more which I'll get into once we actually unbox it. Although right off the bat you can see it's kind of got a really weird looking D-pad. I don't know about that. I've never seen a D-pad like that before, but we'll check that out once we actually open it up. So on the side here, got the contents once again. We got a Xbox One Elite console, obviously. Elite wireless controller with a 3.5mm jack, 1TB hybrid drive, interchangeable D-pads, so you can use the weird looking whatever that is, or the regular plus size D-pad. Stock headset, interchangeable thumbsticks, which it looks like we got 3 separate heights, kind of like the FPS Freaks or whatever those things are called. Let me move this a little bit more centered actually. So yeah, I guess those are kind of like FPS Freaks, which raise or lower the height of your analog stick to make you more precise with aiming, that sort of thing. Also, it looks like one of these, looks like the one in the middle here has a concave, or is that convex? I always get those two mixed up. Style compared to the other two, which are flat. HDMI cable, paddles for your controller, which we'll get into again once we actually unbox it. Wireless networking capability, obviously. Carrying case, USB cable, and a 1-year warranty on the console. Move around back here, we get a little rundown on the features of the Elite controller. I'm not going to go over all of them, at least not on the back here. I'll go over it more in detail once again once we actually take a look at the console. Alright, so we're going to put the console down on its front here so we can open it. It's actually kind of heavy. There we go. Open the stickers here. And how do we open this up? It's one of these that actually... Oh, we're going to stand it back up, and it pulls forward. Just like the Halo 5 Collector's Edition that we unboxed. Going to move the camera here. It's not in the way. Alright, we got our carrying case. Has an Xbox logo on the front, nothing on the back. It's kind of like a hard shell case, so it's nice and durable. Won't bang your controller up during transport. Nice large piece of foam. And here it looks like we got the interchangeable thumbsticks. So there's one. There's the other one. And here are 2 more. Let's set this down and take them out. There you are. And of course our replacement D-pad, just in case you want to use this as opposed to the stock one on the controller. Alright, so I put the box away and we're going to take an in-depth look at the Elite controller before moving on, as this is one of the main selling points of the Elite bundle. So we have our standard face buttons, standard start and back buttons, I guess they're called. I actually don't know what these buttons are officially called. I guess I should have said this in the beginning of the video, but this is my first Xbox One console. So, yeah, I don't know the official name of these. I'm just going to go with start and back, but for those of you that have had the Xbox One for a while, you already know what these are called. So, anyway, got a little button here that says 1 and 2. That we click to the left and the right. Not entirely sure what this is used for. If I had to guess, I would assume it would switch between some programmable presets. There wasn't any manual in the box specifically for the controller. Not that I saw, at least. I didn't unbox any more than what you saw in the last clip, so. Alright, I guess we can take a look at the interchangeable analog sticks now. To take these off, just pop them right off. They're magnetized, but they are held in place very well. Doesn't seem like they're going to pop off in the heat of a game or anything like that. But yeah, just pop right off like that. And the two sets that it comes with are we got a taller version of the ones that curve inwards. And we have one that curves outwards that's a little bit taller than the standard ones. So you can interchange these to your heart's content. So you can have a taller analog stick for aiming, if that's your sort of thing. Some people say it makes aiming a little easier. Again, I've never used FPS Freaks or any of those sort of analog stick extenders, so I have no input. It's something I'll have to mess around with a little bit myself. But, yeah. Again, they interchange at will. You can use whatever combination you want. Just something you'll have to play around with and see whatever suits your needs the best. Alright, gonna take a quick look at our quirky little D-pad here. It, like your standard D-pad, it just goes in 4 directions. It's not, doesn't go in 8 directions or anything like that, as the design may lead on. It just kind of has a, if I can get it focused right, kind of just has a little saucer design, I guess, to allow your thumb to comfortably sit in there and click it easier. Yeah, I have no real comment on it, never used anything like this before, so again, it's just something I'll have to kind of play around with and see how it performs. But again, we have a replacement. Just pops right off. It's magnetized. Have the replacement, so if you try it out and decide you don't like this, you just go back to using the normal old D-pad. Moving around back, this is kind of the main attraction of the Elite controller. We have our 4 paddles. For those of you that have used Scuffs or other modded controllers, that's, yeah, I can't think of any other brands off the top of my head. That's pretty much the main popular one. But for those of you that have used modded controllers before, you'll know what to expect. Basically, you can hit these with your pinkies, or your ring fingers, or your middle finger and your ring finger, whatever is most comfortable for you. I've never actually used the Scuff before or any other sort of modded controller, so once again, it's just something I'll have to kind of get used to and see what works best for me. Basically what these do, if you don't know, I'll zoom in a little bit here. As you can see, they're labeled paddle 1, 2, 3, and 4. Using an app in the console, you map any of the 4 face buttons. I don't know if you can do like the left stick and the right stick, or the bumpers or the triggers or anything like that. I don't know for certain on that, so don't quote me on it, but mainly they're used to map one of the 4 face buttons so that basically, let's say you're playing Dark Souls and it requires the B button to run, or Dark Souls 2 did introduce an alternate control scheme where you could use a different button to run, but I stuck with using the B button because that's what I was used to from Dark Souls 1. But so let's say you're playing Dark Souls 2 and you're trying to move the camera around, but you're trying to sprint at the same time. Well, obviously you can't have your thumb on both the B button and the stick at the same time, so what a lot of players do is the old, what they call the claw placement, or the claw movement. You hold down the B button like this, and yeah, you can move like that, but that's actually incredibly uncomfortable. Your hand will hurt very fast, very soon while doing this, and from what I've heard, it's actually kind of dangerous and can screw up something in your fingers, so I would not recommend using claw. That's one benefit of having the paddles. So you can map, let's say, the B button to one of the paddles, and while you're running along holding down the paddle to sprint, you can move around the camera at will because your thumb is now free. Or let's say you're playing Call of Duty. This is one of the most popular uses of modded controllers. You can put the B button, which is typically the crouch or the prone button, on one of the paddles, and that'll allow you to go prone while shooting somebody, also known as drop shotting, which I'm not really a fan of that kind of behavior, so probably going to use this in more practical senses. Or if you're playing Advanced Warfare or something like that, you can use these to boost and aim at the same time. Again, the whole idea of these paddles is to free up your thumb so that you can aim while doing whatever context-sensitive thing it is in a game that requires you to aim and use a face button at the same time, without making it super uncomfortable with, again, the whole claw method, because it's not very comfortable and it's kind of dangerous, again, physically. Alternatively, if you happen to be a disabled gamer with limited mobility in your thumbs or whatever else, these paddles can also be immensely helpful. Again, the whole idea is to free up your thumb so that you have as little movement as possible while still being able to fully control the game. Again, I don't know any disabled gamers personally, so I can't really give you any anecdotal evidence on how useful that is. I guess it all depends really on your condition, but that's something to keep in consideration too. Another feature are the trigger stops, which again are a standard with SCUF and other modded controllers. If you focus on the trigger here, you can see it presses all the way down, but if I slide this little lever down to the bottom, and you can see the trigger doesn't go all the way to the bottom. And the same with that trigger. The idea for this, the trigger stops, or hair triggers as they're alternatively called, is to basically fire semi-automatic weapons faster. Again, using Call of Duty as an example, because you don't have to go through the whole movement. Yeah, I don't really know right off the top of my head whatever else that would be useful for, and that's just the first thing that comes to mind, as again, that's the most popular use for it. Now, if you don't like the paddles, if they just aren't floating your boat, you can very easily remove them. Just like so. You gotta kind of just pull it forward, or pull it to the side and then pull it outwards, like so. They just pop off pretty easily, like the analog sticks. And there is a spot for them in the carrying case for travel. Moving on, we're going to return to unboxing the rest of the console here. Going to get all of our components out here. Alright, I had to do a little jump cut there. We do have a 14-day gold trial with a code that wasn't blocked out, so I'm going to set that aside. Here we have a little advertisement on how to actually program the Elite controller. You have to download the Xbox Accessories app from the store. There you go. Just have our product guide, warranty information, yada yada. And we have a quick setup guide. Basically just again showing you all the components, showing you how to hook up the console, yada yada. And there actually is a miniature guide here on how to use the trigger functionality. Or should I say the paddle functionality? We'll go back to page, there it is. How to disable and enable the paddles, trigger locks. Got a USB cable here for the controller. Has a nice design to it. I really like this black and green design. Probably the only hint of green in this entire bundle, to be honest, as the rest of it is boasting again a black and chrome look. Have your power brick cable. Have your power brick. Good old pack of Duracell AA batteries, how kind of them. HDMI cable. And you also have a stock Xbox One headset, which from what I hear is a lot better than the stock headset that came with the 360. Just a quick little side note here, something I needed to elaborate on. As I mentioned, the controller has a 3.5mm headset jack. Basically, this allows you to use any old headset you have lying around as long as it has a 3.5mm plug. Yeah, that's all there really is to it. There shouldn't be any outliers. It's just a standard 3.5mm connection. So if you don't like the stock headset that comes with the console and or you have a better one lying around, you should be able to use it. Alright, I'm moving on. We're going to take out the final piece, which is the console itself. So, just going to take this thing out. I think I got everything out of it. More foam. Alright. And we're going to be careful because the console's sitting up. Take off the foam packaging there. It's packaged very nicely, very thoroughly. I will give them credit for that. Alright, and there you have it. I guess I should take this box down and actually give you a full look at the console without the box in the way, because this is kind of a overload of black here. And there you have the console itself. Nothing really special about it. We don't have any special artwork or graphics or anything like that, so yeah, not much to say about it. It's just comparable to the regular Xbox One in looks and design. Again, I don't have one to do a side-by-side kind of comparison here, so there might be minor differences, but yeah, what you see is what you get. At the end of the day, it's all up to you. If you are looking into getting an Xbox One, you don't currently have one, I would say considering the Elite model might be worth it. And an extra $100 only, having an innately faster hard drive and a very versatile special controller like this, maybe within your interest. If you currently already have an Xbox One and storage isn't an issue for you, let's say you're using a external hard drive and you have no real interest in the Elite controller, I would say you might want to pass on it for now. That's all for this video. If you enjoyed, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.